Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another G.I. Joe review. Today, we're going back into the distant but not too distant G.I. Joe history as we're looking at the G.I. Joe Spy Troops figure Firefly. Now, as I'm sure most of you know, these figures were re-released a lot in different pack configurations, 2 packs, 3 packs, single carded with a mission disc, this, that, or the other thing. This version of Firefly was single carded with the mission disc 3 of 3. So that should give you an idea about what you're looking for if you want to buy it, the accessories, and what have you. This is a very interesting take on Firefly. Um, as you can see, it's not as traditional gray camouflage. Here we have a very black and silver with some military style green. He still had the same balaclava head. I think is new. Well, it's probably was reused, but much of a different look for it than the. I even see a little molded lips right there. There's molded guns in the chest plate, which is kind of cool. Would have been nice if the holsters were functional, but I think that would have made the chest protrude out too far. Other than that, a lot, sculpted pouches and all this, that, and the other thing. And the nice Cobra insignia on the back. It's interesting on his file card, they do allude to the fact that, he's been part of Cobra for a while, since they first started, which means, maybe this was trying to draw a connection to the original 1980s Joe line. But for articulation, the head is on a ball joint, the, usual ball joint, universal shoulders, single jointed elbow with a bicep swivel, no wrist articulation. It is an O-ring figure, so there is that waist movement. Ball jointed hips, double jointed, single jointed knees, and a forward and back ankle rocker. Now, one thing I do want to point out, I don't know if it's a defect on my figure, but it does look like this leg is sculpted in such a way that the leg is rotated out ever so slightly. It wasn't packaged in any like odd poses or anything, so I don't think there's any warpage. But then again, as of this recording, this is a 12-year-old figure, so it's very possible. And as you saw in the beginning, I think because of the added angles, it does help the figure to stand without a figure stand. Now, let's look at the accessories. This release of Firefly only comes with a few accessories. First off, there are these 2 guns, which unfortunately really don't match the gun you see it holding on the package. There's this very small sub-nosed machine gun. I can see that tip easily breaking off, but yeah. And then you have what I think is a nice update to his classic suppressed machine gun with the silencer and all that. This is actually pretty close to what he's holding on the packaging, just minus the stock. But it does have that nice little arm groove. And if you notice from the intro, um, I had Firefly holding the weapons in its right hand, and that's because the right hand is molded with a trigger figure, which makes a big difference in holding the guns. Finally, for the accessories, I didn't take them out of the packaging. I'm issuing a Gary Gazzo approved pre-loss warning. There are 3 grenades. First of all, I don't know if the hands can even hold them. I don't even try. But there does appear to be little peg holes in them. And there's really no pegs on Firefly, so which leads me to believe these were a reuse from another figure that I think these would interact with a bit better. In 2015, with the G.I. Joe brand yet again in a state of flux, it's interesting to look back and see where we were in terms of figures not that long ago. You figure spot with Spy Troops, Joe was on store shelves regularly. There were animated movies. There wasn't a regular cartoon series, but I know the comics were around and stuff like that. And it's just interesting. I mean, these were great figures, interesting sculpt and design. And yeah, I have to say, this version of Firefly, I wouldn't mind seeing it redone in the newer modern articulation scheme with the ball joints, uh, chest joint. I mean, I'll say it right now, this would be a perfect addition to an upcoming club figure subscription service. So, this is your old pal Chuck for Firefly. We'll see you next time.